Japan is the sixth biggest country in the world. The size of Japan that everyone thinks is, hey, it's not such big, isn't it? To be sure, Japan has a land area of about 380,000 square kilometers, which is just the 61st largest only in the world. But do you know words of EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone? EEZ means the territory of the sea recognized as a right by countries around the world under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. This is a sea area where foreigners are allowed to get entered or left and pass freely without a passport. But it's the area foreigners cannot obtain fishes or undersea resources without the permission of the country. Japan has an EEZ that is 12 times of the land area. If you look at Japan's territory and EEZ on a world map, you can see that it spreads widely from north to south, east and west. The size of Japan's EEZ is more than 12 times the land area, making it the sixth biggest in the world. This is because of that there are many islands in Japan. So why did these islands become Japanese territory? Did the Japanese live in these islands since ancient days? Unfortunately, the answer is no. When the Japanese said goodbye to the era of samurai and opened the country, which is only 150 years ago, Japan expanded its territory one after another. Even present days in the 21st century, if a country discovered an uninhabited island that does not belong to any other country, it will become the territory of your country. For example, if an eruption of a submarine volcano created a new island somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, even if the country which discovered is located at the opposite side of the Earth, it will be the territory of that country. Japan was ambitious to expand its territory at that time? The answer is no. In fact, a certain economic activity happened to have triggered the expansion of the territory as a result. It's due to a bird named albatross. The Japanese discovered many islands because they were able to make huge fortunes by capturing albatrosses. At the beginning of the opening of the country, many foreign merchants who buy birds, which are the raw material for feathers, gathered at the seaport of Yokohama, which has just opened. The feathers collected there were shipped to London in UK and Paris in French and traded at a high price. Therefore, Japanese feathers have become an important export item. In 1876, newspaper the Yomiuri Shimbun reported on this situation as follows. Feathers are 5 times lighter and 3 times warmer than wool. Feathers are used in hats, clothes, and accessories, and are a great rage for people over there. This report made those who dreamed of becoming very rich much excited. An albatross is a huge seabird that is not afraid of humans, and it reaches 2.4 meters with its wings spread, and it is easy to catch because it requires a gliding of 20 meters or more to take off. Is the best bird to obtain feathers. It was Tomoaki Hanamon who first became aware of getting feathers. He was originally a carpenter in Hachijo Island and was participating in the development of the Ogasawara Islands. He discovered its value by seeing huge number of albatrosses as if the color of the island changed to pure white by the crowded birds. Tomoaki has systematically started an albatross capture business on the islands of the Izu Islands, and it's said to have captured 6 million albatrosses in about 15 years. Feathers were sent to foreign merchants in Yokohama, dried meat was eaten for private food, and eggs were sent to mainland Japan as a valuable source of protein. As a result, he was earning an annual income of 1 billion yen at the current value. 4 years later since he started the business, he built a building at Tsukiji in Tokyo, and 9 years later he became a big businessman listed in the national rankings. The history of the millionaires of the Meiji era, at that time, covered how to be sure to become a millionaire. exploration of uninhabited islands, is posted there along with governmental merchants and land properties. Seeing this situation, people who are aiming for a lot of money with albatrosses have appeared one after another, and they went on to the uninhabited islands where albatrosses live. Aiming for albatrosses to Midway Island and Senkaku Islands. Those who dreamed of becoming millionaires set sail to the northwestern Hawaiian Islands in the east and the islands of the South China Sea in the west. This was a competition for getting an uninhabited island called Bird Rush, which looks like a gold rush. For example, in 1899, a private citizen submitted a request for land lease on Midway Island to the Japanese government. Midway Island is an island located at the middle of the Pacific Ocean, 4,500 kilometers east of Japan. At that time, there were no accurate maps yet, and there were many unconfirmed rumors about uninhabited islands, but many people dreamed of getting rich with albatrosses. Through these actions of private citizens, Japan discovered many uninhabited islands and made them Japanese territory. For example, Minamitorishima Island, the easternmost point in Japan, was discovered in 1896 by explorer and businessman Shinroku Mizutani. During his repeated expeditions, he discovered Minamitorishima Island, began capturing albatrosses, and developing the island, making Minamitorishima Island a Japanese territory in 1898. In 1885, Okinawa Prefecture officials surveyed the Senkaku Islands and reported in detail the state of the hordes of albatrosses inhabited. In 1895, a merchant, Tatsushiro Koga, applied for a leasehold right on this island, and in 1896, he lent the 4 Senkaku Islands. At that time, no Chinese was coming to the islands yet. If you check this history, you can see that there is no basis for the story that the Chinese government now claims that the Senkaku Islands were taken away by Japan during the Japan-China War. However, soon resources began to be depleted due to the overhunting of people's albatrosses. On the contrary, it intensified the uninhabited island acquisition competition, and expanded the search range of uninhabited islands. In 1900, Tomoaki Hanamon pioneered Minamitorishima Island in Okinawa Prefecture. The island was difficult to land and was truly an isolated island in the sea. But people desperately climbed the cliffs of the island and broke into the albatross paradise. Furthermore, when the albatrosses were exhausted, then they began to collect bird droppings and phosphate rocks, which are the agricultural fertilizers. Through these actions of private citizens, Japan gained the vast sea territorial of present days. It is still attracting attention as a place where many gold veins sleep even now. The area of the EEZ in Japan is about half the land area of the United States and China. It is almost the same as the total land area of the 4 countries of India and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. Many methane hydrates and rare metals lie on the seabed. All of these items can be said that all were gift from albatrosses. This is because of the desire of people for a lot of money created the bird rush, a competition for uninhabited islands, and as a byproduct, led to the expansion of Japan's territory of EEZ. However, the number of albatrosses has dropped sharply due to overhunting, and one survey found that only 4,500 birds were left. And the Japanese government has designated them as natural monuments that are not allowed to catch albatrosses. We Japanese also eagerly hope that the population of the bird will increase with sincere apology and gratitude to the albatrosses that have become the cornerstone of Japan's current prosperity.
Thank you very much for watching. Next video coming soon. See you.